Hello, Suzanne Henwood here from Embraining for Success. Have you ever felt that it's odd to connect in with your heart space, to really hear its voice, to sense what it's saying to you, to even fully appreciate what it's been through? I know that I have. What I wanted to do was to create a tool that helped enable that, to facilitate it, to make it easier, gentler. And so I created a process, a guided meditation, if you like, that I have called Creating a Heart Garden. And after I did this and tried it with a few clients, I read a beautiful post by Jonathan Fisher, a cardiologist in the States, who put up this beautiful picture of a door. Let me just share that with you for a moment. So this was the picture that I saw. It was actually on a LinkedIn post, and it just set my mind, my heart going in such a beautiful direction in relation to these heart gardens, and really inspired me to change the start of the process to make it a guided meditation where there is a door, an entranceway to our hearts. Before I share that with you, let me just read some of his posts to you, which in itself is incredibly powerful. He said it's never too late to open the door to our hearts, never too late. He talked about there being unconscious areas of closure and contraction that affect relationships and create a spiral of emotional closure and isolation. Unconscious areas of closure and contraction. Where have you closed down your heart that you're not even consciously aware of? Where is there contraction or restriction or tension? And what would life be like if you could open that? It's never too late to open your heart. Jonathan says, in my cardiology practice, the consequences of a closed heart are no less devastating. When one of the four valves inside the heart gets stuck, forward flow is blocked, backward pressure builds, and hearts may fail. So even moving beyond this metaphorical door, this imagery, it's possible that there is a blockage in your heart space. Always get medically checked out. Always stay current. Always be responsive to any signs and symptoms you have. But who knows, maybe going through this guided meditation will release and allow yourself to move and flow again in ways that you haven't felt for a while. He says an open heart opens hearts. And right now in the world, we need people to be open-hearted and to reach out and help others open their hearts. He asked two great questions. Are there ways you might be closing your heart off to new experiences, ideas, or friends? And what steps are you taking to cultivate greater openness in your life? And how might this benefit you and those around you? This was from a post from April 2023. So if you're willing to go with me on a journey, to explore accessing your heart in a new way, a way maybe you haven't done for a while. I do trust that you're an educated, capable adult listening to this, and that you look after yourself, that you will not go and open something that actually needs to be opened with a coach or therapist to guide you. That if there's areas of your heart that don't want to be opened, that's okay too. This isn't about forcing. This is just a guided self-help to the level at which you want to go, to enable you to access your heart space. And yeah, I offer as a gift a heart meditation, a guided meditation, creating a heart garden. As we get going, I just want you to feel into your heart space. What do you notice? Is it closed and tight, protective? Is it open and free, vulnerable? I wonder what happens when you just allow your shoulders to relax, move backwards, opening up that chest space, that chest cavity. If you raise your chin, if you let your body move a little, how different does that feel? Does it make it easier to access this heart space? I suspect it does. And how different is it to being hunched over with your shoulders forwards, maybe even with constriction and tension there, which is how we often sit in the day, especially when we're sat at a device. So just be aware and make a choice for yourself as you start to move into this guided meditation, how you want to be. Do you want to be open and free? Do you want to be able to explore safely and allow access easily? And remember, if there are areas that are closed off for good reason, then it's okay that they don't all open at once. So just test, feel, do what's right for you. Whatever's right for you is absolutely okay. Now, that beautiful image that I showed you was a beautiful door to a heart-shaped entranceway, a portal, an access point. I wonder, as you start to imagine what your access point to your heart is, if you were to create one, build one, imagine one, is it a door? What would you call it? Portal, gateway, entrance, door. What's the right word for you? And what we're going to do is just move in stages gently, looking at the door initially, opening the door but not walking through, and then later walking through that door and exploring the garden, even creating the garden. Just do as much, as deep as you feel comfortable doing for now. You can always come back and play the audio again and go deeper at a later time. And you have many ways you could do this. You could just listen. Just listen and let your eyes softly focus downwards. Maybe even close your eyes and listen. Or if you want to, you could grab a sheet of plain paper and some crayons and draw and doodle, whether that's pictures or words. What's the best way for you to feel safe to explore your heart? And as you contemplate that, and as you get ready for moving into this guided meditation, I just want you to fully and utterly come into this present moment. Feel your body right where you are, wherever you are. If you're not somewhere safe to listen and do this, then stop. Don't do this while you're driving or operating machinery. Be aware of your physical presence, where you are and whether that's safe for you. And assuming it is safe, feel your feet on the floor. Place your feet on the floor and move them around. Feel the weight of your foot, even your body moving. If you're sat, feel the chair underneath you. Maybe even feel your legs with your hands. Maybe even give yourself a bit of a hug, letting your body know that you are completely safe in this place. And as you do and you sit in this present moment, take your attention inwardly. Let's start by bringing our awareness to the breath. Breathing slowly and evenly in through the nose, feeling that air moving into you. Can you feel the warmth of the air? You just feel into what that air is doing, that life-giving supply of oxygen, feeding your body, energizing your body. And as you breathe out, recognize that with that breath out, a whole heap of toxins that are no longer required move out of your body. They've done their job. They can go now. You can let go. While you're sat breathing, if you want to gently just rock your body, that's a great way to stimulate your vagus nerve. Or maybe hum gently, lovingly, deeply. If you want to self-haven by rubbing your face or your hands together, gently palm on palm, stroking your arms from your shoulders down. Just do what feels right for you, that makes you and your body feel good in this moment. And just take a moment to really notice your body, your being. What a miracle you are. And maybe in this moment when everything from the outside of you can just be put aside for a little while, you can just focus on being you. And in this space, notice how different it feels from when you first arrived on this podcast. What are you noticing that's different? And we're just noticing, we're not judging, we're just noticing. And maybe just savoring that shift. Maybe it's savoring those muscles relaxing across your shoulders, around your jaw. Maybe your tongue has relaxed against the roof of your mouth. Maybe your hands have relaxed, let go. You might notice heightened senses of sound or touch or feel. Reassure all your body, all of your cells, all of your sensing that you are safe here, truly, deeply enjoying this sense of being you, of belonging in this place and in this moment, knowing that you matter, that you being here makes a difference. And when you're ready, let your attention drop deep into that heart space, that beautiful space at the front of the chest where your heart is protected behind the sternum, that bone at the front. It's protected by your ribs. Your heart is so precious. Your body was built so that it was held in a safe space. That means you don't have to protect it so fiercely. It just is safe. And imagine you could come to that entranceway of your heart, face on, right there in front of you, because you know where that is. And just standing there for a moment. Maybe it's been a while since you stood there, a while since you came and really entered into your heart deeply. So just acknowledge and feel yourself arriving. And imagine you have a doorway, let's call it a doorway, whatever you call it, an access point to your heart that will open and allow you in easily. An entranceway, portal, a door, a way in. What's that doorway like? Explore it. What does it look like? What's it made of? How big is it? What shape is it? And as you notice the handle, what's the handle like? Can you right now even just reach out? Imagine reaching out and touching that handle and feeling it. What is it made of? Knowing you're in control of that handle. And we're not going to open it just yet. Just want you to feel it and connect with it, to know that it's there, to know that it's real. And when you're ready and in your own time, in your own way, I want you to just breathe slowly and evenly and fully, bringing your body into a beautiful, balanced and coherent place. And when you feel that on the inside, you need to reach out and just gently open that door. Feel that door shift. See the light change. And opening the door, we're not going through yet, just opening the door, look inside to your heart garden. What is it you see? Take some time to look around. As I say, we're not going to go fully in yet. Just looking through the doorway and noticing. What is your garden like? What can you see or hear, feel or sense? What are you aware of? Just pause. Look, feel, listen. What do you notice? Do you get a sense for how big this garden is? At any point, is there a sense or a visual of a boundary, a wall, a fence, a limit, an edge? Whether there is or there isn't is just fine. It's just noticing. And if your heart had eyes to see afresh this beautiful garden, maybe see it in new ways now, what does it see? Beautiful. And when you're ready, and only when you're ready, I want you to step inside that garden. Just feel yourself gently moving forwards, stepping into that heart, gently but firmly closing the door behind you so it's just you in the garden. This is your private place. You're completely safe to be yourself here. And as you step into that garden, let your shoulders just shift backwards. Let your chin lift upwards, opening up that space for your heart to be, so that you can be one with the garden. And from this step inside the door, have a look around again. What do you notice from here that might be different from what you noticed before you stepped through the doorway? If you look left or right, what do you notice? If you look ahead of you or even behind you, what do you notice? If you look up and down, what do you notice? And what do you feel? If you feel deeply into what you can feel and sense, that beautiful heart voice that often isn't words at all, what's your heart aware of? And if emotions and feelings arise, that's okay. Let them, acknowledge them, name them. Invite them to be there with you for a moment, because they will move on again. They'll come and go like a gentle breeze. You could get curious. Does any one of those bring a communication for you, a message, before it gently moves on? And it's good to notice those lights and darks, the highs and lows, the joys, the pain. Often we separate them and move from one to other, but it's okay for them to exist together. That's real life. Not pulling away from that that's difficult or unpleasant, and not striving towards everything being okay, but being real, whole, true, balanced, embracing all of yourself. Excellent. And I'm curious, what happens if you breathe in just a little deeper, fuller, slowly, gently, evenly? And in doing so, notice how the garden just breathes with you. It extends slightly with every breath. And it opens up just a little bit what you can see and hear, feel and sense. Look around you. What else moves with the breath? Any petals with the flowers, or leaves with the trees, even branches that sway in time with your breathing. You're one with this garden. As you breathe, so the garden breathes. And you notice the edge, if there is an edge, just gently pushing back and swaying with the breath. Giving yourself more space. What do you notice from this place when you breathe just a little more deeply, more fully? Amazing. And this is your garden. This is your space to be in this present moment. For you to be you, truly you. So you can do what you like in this garden. You can come back, create it over time, garden, become the gardener. Right now, Is there anything you'd like to add into the garden? Something you can bring in or something you can create? Are there any flowers you'd like to plant? Or any ornaments or objects you'd like to place? And I'm guessing for each one, there's a story and a meaning behind those. Just be aware of that. And is there a message they bring for you? Exquisite. And I'm curious, are there any seats, any places to rest, truly rest? Places to just be, to sit in the stillness? And if there are, what sort of chair or seat is that? Is it a beautiful wooden carved bench or swinging hammock, a recliner, a daybed to lay on, a blanket on the ground? What's the right sort of place to rest for you? And where would be the perfect place to have that in your garden? Amazing. And you know you can come back and rest there whenever you like, for as long as you like. This is your garden. You take a moment to truly connect with the ground you're stood on. Can you put down roots and connections, tapping into an infinite form of resources that exist there? Maybe it's tapping into some strength, tapping into resilience, tapping into health. What is it you want to tap into? Knowing that it's there. Everything you might need, it's there. And being so firmly grounded in the floor of your heart as you look up, connecting with the air, the light, allowing it to filter in, to grow you, to warm you. This beautiful sense of oneness, above, below, within. It's all one. It's all connected. Beautiful. And I wonder, are there any memories here that you would want to remind yourself of? Things that you're grateful for, or people you love, special times? Where are they in your garden? Look around. Maybe see some of those now. What reminds you of those things, those people? What beautiful stories and memories arise for you? What connections do you remember and feel afresh with all the love and compassion that those connections bring? Maybe in your beautiful garden there is even more. What else is waiting to be noticed, to be seen and acknowledged? What is there that is of significance to you that you can explore here or be with here? Is there any water, a stream, a river, a lake, a sea, an ocean? And if there is, what does that signify? And where does it belong in your garden? Are there any animals or birds bringing life to your garden? Feel free to walk around, explore. And as you do, you might like to ask if any part of your garden has a message for you, or a gift, a word, a picture, a sign, an image, a symbol, a metaphor. Maybe it's waited quite some time to share that with you. Maybe it's been waiting for you to come to your heart so that it could give you this beautiful gift, beautifully wrapped, beautifully presented, perfectly and exquisitely right for you in this moment. Whatever that is, just accept it, allow it, embrace it. Say thank you. Know it's from within your heart, and it can stay in your heart. If you just take your attention out to the edge of the garden, if there is an edge, what do you notice there? Is there anything you want to bring into conscious attention around that boundary, that limit? What is the right word for you around that edge or that boundary? And maybe there is no boundary. Maybe there's just continuity out, connecting, merging into one. And how then do you keep yourself safe? Boundaries are not wrong. Is there an agreement of somewhere not to be passed? Is there a force field so you can see and be connected, and yet there's a magic what for you that allows you to have both connection and safety? And what is out beyond where your attention is going? Because you do know there is more beyond. What is that is outside or other, beyond your awareness? What is not yet known? It might be that you become aware of some things that are outside of your garden and you're comfortable with them being outside. It's wholly appropriate that they don't come to that sacred garden of yours. And maybe there are some things and people outside that you actually would love to connect more closely with and send love to. So just feel that love, unconditional and deep, authentic and real, inside of your heart. Edge it up beautifully. And with your breath, allow that to move around the garden freely. Moving outside, beyond, to reach others, to connect with others. Offering them that love, that compassion. Sharing it with them freely, unconditionally. Notice how they respond to receiving that. And notice that they too send their package of love back to you. In this amazing quantum space between physical bodies, you can send out and receive back love. Feel that. How do you know that's there? How do you sense? Where do you sense? And can you just be still for a moment? Feeling the movement and the breath, the breeze of something that's bigger than you. It's just gently letting you know that it's there. Smile as you realize afresh you're not alone. You're never alone. You're always connected, always part of the greater whole. Yet here in your heart, you're free to be you. Free to be. Free to explore that intersection between the physical you and the spiritual greater than you. It is through that heart garden that you can explore and grow that connection over time. Just breathe that in, that sense of greater than, the oneness, the connection, the unconditional love. And just let that drop deep into your gut for a moment. In fact, let it flow right round your whole body, through your ANS, right out to your skin surface and beyond, down to your toes and your fingertips, up to the top of your head, knowing that it's your heart that controls that connection out to your body. It drives it, it sends it. I wonder if there's something that your heart would like to send right round your body right now. Is it a feeling, a message, a presence, a sense? And just letting that go right round your body. You can feel it under your skin. How does your body respond? When you let your heart tend and nurture the garden right round your body, what does it need in terms of feeding? What does it need in terms of support, encouragement? From your toes, through your body, to your gut, your torso, your chest, and right up into your head. Are you allowing and choosing the right things to grow? Is there anything you'd like to prune back or weed out completely if it's not serving you? You're the gardener. You can choose. Maybe you had forgotten that you had that power. Maybe you had got busy and maybe you hadn't spent time here for a while. Maybe your heart got hurt or burned. Maybe it's time to let it heal now. This is your garden. You decide what grows, what thrives, what flourishes. This is your place, your heart. Maybe just make a mental note in your head about what you would like to do when you leave here today. What action plan you might like to put in place to tide you over until you next come and spend time in your heart garden. And take a moment now just to come back to one specific place in your garden. One spot where you can be and feel and sense, see and hear, be fully present in your heart, truly deeply, maybe for the first time in a long time. And know that you're safe, completely safe, to return here whenever you like. Make a commitment to yourself that you will come back regularly. This is your garden, your heart garden. And you can change it over time. You can plant more flowers and weed back any growth that's no longer helpful. You can invite new connections and prune off old connections that no longer support you to be you. Your garden is beautifully alive and dynamic, changing, evolving, awakening. And you're gardening, ongoing, evolving. Doesn't all need to be done right now. And breathe. Sigh. Be in awe of the amazing, awesome creation that you are. And feeling a deep gratitude for having found or maybe refound your garden. Stop and truly feel that now. Feel that gratitude, appreciation, awe, compassion, whatever that right word is for you, that expresses how you truly feel now. And let that feeling amplify just to the right extent. so that your heart can gently spread it around your body. So it stays with you today, tomorrow, and until maybe you choose to return here to recharge, to reboot, to refill. And when you're ready, turn and notice the door. And smile, knowing you're ready to come back out into the world, to this moment, and just ever so gently reach up and turn that handle. Opening the door, hearing the movement, feeling the weight shift and the air change in the room, sensing the light change as you come back into the here and now. Closing that door behind you to keep your garden safe, knowing you can revisit it at any time. This is your sacred place, your sacred heart garden. And as you close that door and let go and bring yourself back into this present moment, just bring your attention back into the room. Feel the chair beneath you. Connect again with your physical body. Touch it. Rub your hands gently. Yawn. Stretch. Breathe more deeply. And look around the room. Is there any way that it looks different now? Does it feel different now? Notice what's changed, what's moved, what's shifted. Are the colours brighter? Is it more sense of energy and aliveness, connection? And I would invite you just to spend some time just jotting down a message, journaling around. What was the learning for you of going into your heart garden? Was it a word or a picture, a feeling, a message, a metaphor? A sense? Just make a note so that you can remember it for now and also work with it as it changes and evolves and draws you back in to coming back into your heart garden again and again and again. So I offer you that gift. I found it incredibly useful for connecting in with my own heart space. I've used it with clients too who are getting great benefit having that connection. I choose to go there to rest. I choose to go there to let go of things that might be triggering me. And it truly has become the most amazing sacred space that was always there, but I'd kind of forgotten for a while. I'd forgotten to go and visit and be there. As ever, you know where I am. If I can help you in any way, please do reach out. And please do get to know your heart garden. Create it, build it, develop it. Keep going back to it over and over. I wish you every blessing, happiness, and I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you.